Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. We're on day number 53. And once again, like every single day, I'm so excited for the incredible conversation that we are going to have today. We've been talking so much about success, about growth, about learning from failures, about relationships, about the challenges we face, about the way we need to show up in our lives. And so today I thought, let's switch up the gears. Let's talk about something that we haven't really discussed yet over the last 52 sessions. And yet, this is something I believe is the core fundamental, the core foundation of success, regardless of whatever it is that your definition of success entails. And the reason I say that is because we are so focused sometimes on our own efforts, on our own actions, on the way we're showing up, that we forget to tap into the magical powers that are around us, the powers that exists in the energies that surround us. And I want to talk to you about that today. I want to share my experiences and my perspectives and maybe help you understand how trusting the universe and letting the universe show up for you could be the final piece that you need to take your success to the next level and to start growing to the next level in your life as well. Because a lot of times it's not our efforts that are lacking, it's not the plan that is weak, it's not the people that are wrong. It's just that in here, there's a disconnect. There's a feeling of loneliness. There's a feeling that you are all alone, that you are unsupported, that your success isn't really happening the way you want it to happen. And that feeling of being alone, that feeling of not having support, that feeling that you're the only one who's handling it all is the major reason your life feels blocked and your growth gets stunted. But the day you realize that the universe always has your back, the universe is always there to support you, everything starts to change for the better. Now, earlier, I would be a bit skeptical to have a conversation about something as vague as this because we can't see it in reality, right? The universe is the stars we see in the sky, the universe is the energies we define, and so many more things. But here's the simple perspective that I look at it from. I want to help you understand this foundation so the rest of the conversation makes sense to you as well. Now, whether you're religious or not, there are different terms that we can use to describe this force that is greater than us. Some people call the force as Jesus Christ, some call it Allah, some call it Ram, some call it Vaheguru, some call it any other religious name, Buddha, that we have, right? That so many people follow as different religions. And even if you don't follow religion, the blanket term that I'm taking to describe this power, to describe this higher greatness that exists somewhere in the cosmos, the term I'm using simply is the universe, as we've commonly started using in a non religious context. Now, by the universe, I don't mean just the stars, I don't mean just the astronomical facts and figures that we can see, but what I mean is a greater intelligence that we cannot see, yet it exists, yet it surrounds us, yet it has its presence in every area of our lives. Because think about it from this lens, we are a speck, we are a tiny dot in the entire expanse of the whole universe that exists. Forget the universe, that's too big of a deal. Just look at the Milky Way galaxy that we belong to. It's a perfect spiral, it's a perfect shape. In that whole galaxy, in one small dot in the bottom, is our entire solar system. And in that solar system, one of the planets is Earth. On that one planet, there are so many different life forms. There's so many more unexplored places we've never even been to. On that planet is a species called the human beings, the Homo sapiens, who somehow have the intelligence and ability to not just accept what nature has given them, but to also create things on their own, but to also make magic on their own, to reason, to become aware, to choose the life they want to live, to create systems, to create societies, to create the entire world that we have created today, to fly, to drive, to just so much innovation and magic that exists around us. And out of all places in the universe, out of all the tiny dots in the world, out of all the galaxies, out of all the planets, out of all the species, if we are the ones who are able to do this, is it really a coincidence? Is it really just, a mixing of random stars and a mixing of random facts that led to this happenstance, that led to this magic? No, there is a force of intelligence out there that defines the perfection of a seemingly random universe. And if that force exists out there, that force exists within us, and that is the force that takes our life to the next level. That is the force, once we believe in it, once we tap into it, is where magic starts to happen, where energy start to align. Because think about it again, it's a very logical perspective that I'm taking here. It's not a random coincidence that we are the way we are. It's created, it's designed by an intelligence we cannot yet understand. But that does not mean we cannot tap into that intelligence. That does not mean we cannot converse with that intelligence and use it, not use it, but to work with it, to manifest the realities that we want and the life that we want, by feeling that support, by feeling that courage, by feeling that conviction that no matter what happens in my life, everything is going to be taken care of, everything is going to be sorted. And that's why I say the universe has your back, because this is the very first idea that I want you to understand. Nothing in this world is random. It's a higher intelligence, it's the universe that has defined it. The perfection is just too, if the right word, I'm not even trying to use the word perfect, because nothing can be perfect, but I'm just trying to see if there's a different word in my mind right now. Nothing else is coming in, so let's just stick with the word perfect. But this perfection of the world that exists has been created by that very same force. And if the world has survived for 4.5 billion years, if the universe has survived for the last 13 billion years, our lifespans are what? 50, 80, 100, 150, 200 at max? And we are so worried. What will happen in my life? How will I figure things out? How will my goals get achieved? How will my problems get solved? My life is ruined. All these thoughts that we think, that pull us down, that make us negative, that strip us away of the blessing that's the part of being human, well, that is an injustice to this force of perfection. That is an injustice to the creatures that we are, to the people that we are. Because another statistic that I just want to share with you, go on Google later on, you'll find that this is true. There's a Huffington Post article, I guess, which goes into the whole mathematics of this claim. But the chances of being born as a human are 1 in 400 trillion. That's right. 1 in 400 trillion. The population of our globe, 8 to 9 billion. So every single one of us, doesn't matter how crazy it sounds, but every single one of us here are the chosen ones. And yet, it's crazy and it's scary. How many of us just spend our lives feeling purposeless, feeling lost, feeling as if we don't matter? Well, you are the chosen one. The person you are talking to, they are the chosen one. Every single one of us are the chosen ones if we are here in human form today. And it's a waste to spend our lives cribbing, complaining, and worrying about why things are not happening, or why things will happen, or why things won't happen, or how will I achieve my goals, and will people like me or not. All of those tiny challenges and problems that mess with our heads, well, the solution to them is not solving the problem. The solution to them is placing your trust back in the universe and understanding that no matter what happens in your life, every single thing will always turn out to be a blessing. Now, you can call this a lie, you can call this a belief, you can say, oh, okay, it's just a cute reframe for the mind. I don't mind that if you label it that way. The thing is, it works. It works like magic. It has worked like magic in my life. It has worked like magic in my coach's life. It has worked like magic in the lives of the people I know. But this one belief that everything happens for a reason, that everything always turns out to be a blessing, even if I can't see the blessing in this moment, That means you're ready to place your trust in the universe. That means you're believing that the higher power has something planned out for you. Maybe you cannot see that yet. Maybe you cannot look at the benefit of the adversity or the challenge or the problem you're facing right now. But tell me this: if the world has functioned perfectly for the last 4.5 billion years, who says and what says that you won't bear the storm that you're going through? Maybe for the next 6 months, maybe for the next 1 year, maybe for the next 10 years. Who knows? But is it really that long? No, it's not. And is it really something that you'll never ever recover from? No, it's not. And that's the funny thing about being human. We so easily forget the magnificence that exists within each of us. We are so easy and we are so adept at taking what's stardust and calling it just mud. We are so good at devaluing our own shining, our own spark, our own glow that shines like a diamond. We are very good at it. When we place our trust in the universe, we finally give ourselves the chance to shine back again, to grow again, to make things happen again, and for good reason. Because the day you believe that everything happens for a reason, right, you stop being a victim in your life. You stop feeling helpless. You stop feeling like this person who's trying to seek justice and trying to seek, I will make you repay for whatever you did to me, and all those limiting ideas. You'll just let go of that. It's not that you won't help people face the consequences of their actions. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, you will be emotionally free to lead an abundant, expansive, and supported life where you know, okay, this happened, this happened. The past is the past. I got hurt. I got laid off from my job. My business went down. My partner just left me. I lost my house to the bank. And so many other things that happen in our lives, right? As adversities, as challenges. In those moments, feel bad if you want to feel bad. No guilt about that. Nothing wrong with that. But if you can just remind yourself, everything is a blessing in my life. And even through this, I'm supported. Rather than going into self pity, rather than going into a zone where you're wallowing and you're sad and you're just holding your head in your hands and crying and thinking that my life is over, rather than all your energy being wasted in that, you're able to place your trust back in that higher power which has planned out everything for you, which has sorted out things for you, and you are allowing that grace to unfold in your life at its own time. So even when you're going through a challenge, even when you're going through a mess, you're not suffering through it, you're just going through it. There's a big difference. You can either choose to suffer or you can not choose to suffer. For that, you don't need your circumstances to get easy. For that, you need to reframe your mind and start believing that every single thing in my life is truly, truly a blessing. And for me, this has worked out magically because earlier I used to be pretty desperate about success. I used to be pretty desperate about making things happen. And might sound crazy, but at the age of 16, I felt like I was falling behind. I know it doesn't even come across as a logical feeling to have when I say it out loud, but that was the case. I mean, I felt so left behind. It's like, what am I doing with my life? Where are things going? I've got nothing figured out. And yet now at 19, 3 years older, but the clarity I have, the patience I have, the calmness I have, the trust I have in my God, in my power, in the universe, in my partner of this life's journey is so high that even through the challenges, I'm able to say, you know what? I know we'll handle it. I know I'll deal with it. I have that trust because I have you, I have your support. And the funniest part is, the level of growth I'm seeing in my business, the level of connection and love I'm seeing in all my relationships, the way I'm taking actions on my health, the way I'm showing up with sincerity for my career, all of that is something that was so missing just 3 years ago. I was not this consistent. I was not this focused. I was not this amazing person that I am today. And by amazing, I'm not saying it in an egoistic way. I'm saying it in a way where I'm really proud of the person that I'm becoming, of the coach that I am, of the professionalism I hold, of the impact I'm able to create. But I know it for a fact I'm not doing it alone. It's because I believe in my universe. It's because I believe in that power. And I'm letting that power shine through for me and come through and help me rise even when I can't see the path, even when something I've been working at for so long just falls apart, even when things don't work out the way I wanted them to work out. That trust makes all the difference, because rather than me crying, rather than me saying, why did this happen to me? Okay, it happened for whatever reason it happened. Let me just dust myself off. Let me get back up. Let me start doing things again, because I'm always taken care of. I'm always supported. The confidence that trusting the universe brings in you, that aligning with this high power brings in you, is next level. And it's not just a cute belief. You know this power is true. Nothing in the world is a coincidence. Nothing in such a perfect world can be a coincidence. And that, my friend, includes your existence. So give yourself that importance, give yourself that courage, give yourself that strength that you know you deserve, because you're not just a random accident. You were meant to be here, you were meant to shine, you were meant to create the life that you know you deserve. The only question that remains is, are you willing to trust the very force that will be the fuel of your success? I hope you are. I hope you spend tonight reflecting on this question, and I'll see you once again tomorrow at the exact same time. That is 8:30 p.m. IST. I know we took the conversation in a very different lens today, but I believe this was important because not everything is about our efforts. Sometimes it is about just trusting and letting go. Let tonight be a reminder that success can be effortless when you make the universe your partner in every single thing that you do. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow once again. Bye.